Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about, my trading journey and what type of strategy I'm using, and how I'm going to use that strategy to then buy a $10,000 prop firm account, because my strategy has proven to be profitable over time in a matter of like a couple of weeks, right? So, I just passed my demo account, so I'm really confident that the strategy is going to work out profitable to, fund my own endeavors and entrepreneurship. So yeah, let's get into the video. I'm basically just like making this video for traders that are tired of inconsistent nonsense and strategies that a lot of traders use nowadays, right? I'm just gonna keep it simple and just give you raw truth of how to trade and be profitable just like me, whether it's a demo account or a real life trading account. It doesn't really matter. I'll show you what I do. None of that is going to be possible if you don't have your human psychology figured out, right? So what you need is a step-by-step process that removes emotion and only targets probability setups, right? That's what you need to be profitable in trading. If you have all that, you can finally pass your prop firm account without losing any money or blowing accounts every time. So I'm going to be breaking down my entire strategy into 3 simple steps. So the first one is going to be range. So you need to identify who is in control. Is it the buyers or the sellers, right? That's what we need to figure out. Then number 2 is change. So we need to wait for the market to show its hand. And then last but not least is the execution, which is actually taking the trade, right? So you need to enter with precision and you need to let the winners run. So now, to be honest guys, for like about a year I was pretty lost in trading. I would try strategy, I would like win a few trades, and then I would lose all of it and I would blow my account, right? And I would be really confused, like, how did I lose this trade, right? But the reason why I honestly lost my accounts and I lost discipline, right? I'm not sticking to my strategy. I'm taking so many trades in a single day when I could just only take like at least 3 or a couple trades, and that's it, And I realized that, the market is just mass human psychology looking for equilibrium, right? That's what it's looking for in the market. So, once I realized that, like, I don't have to be right every time in a trade. All I need to do is just stick to my edge and stick to my strategy. Over time, right, I'll eventually become profitable and make at least some good, risk rewards, right? So this is an example of how I usually take trades and how my strategy works. So basically what I do is, you can see that the price is bouncing off this liquidity inflection level, right? And then once it actually goes through it, usually it does a retest, right? And that, as you can see, it targets the midpoint of that fair value gap. So all I want to do is just target this, right? And then I want to keep my stop loss above this liquidity inflection level, so that it doesn't just go up and stop me up, right? I want it to stay above it so it doesn't stop me out easily, right? I can even put it above here too, because there's actually another fair value gap right here too, so I can just do that. Once I set that up, what I can do next is I set up my limit order. I'm going to take half the position right around in the middle of my profits. So I'm just going to continue the trade slowly down, okay. And then now I'm going to be taking half the position right here. So I'm going to just do a partial close, boom, like that, right? So I took out half the position, and then I'm going to continue the trade, and then move my stop loss to break even, right? But so now I move my stop loss to break even. So now I'm going to just let it run and see what happens. My take profit has been hit, so now I basically made a 4R in this trade. Even though it says 3.9, I made 4R, right? So, and yeah guys, that's how it's going to really be in trading. That's how my strategy works. All I do, I'm going to say it again, all I do is just, I look at these liquidity inflection levels, and then once it crosses this trend line, I just hope that it does like an underside retest on this liquidity inflection level, and then I enter here, and then I make sure I put my stop loss above this fair value gap, right? So it doesn't hit it, like I said. And then I look at my overall longer time frame, so that I can see whether it's bullish or bearish, and based on that I can just go bearish, right? All right, so in this next trade, in how I use my strategy, so as you can see, so there is a big bearish fair value gap right here, and as you can see, the price tapped that midpoint of the fair value gap, and then it went all the way down, right? So what we want to do is, we want to wait for the price to cross this liquidity inflection level. So yeah, it's going down and up and down. It's always tagging that liquidity inflection level, and it's just going down Yeah, so as you can see, it just crossed the liquidity and inflection level. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to set my limit order right here. As you can see, it hit it. Okay, and then so once price goes halfway through my trade, I'm going to take, you know, half of the trade off, and obviously I'm going to put my stop loss to break even. I'm just going to set it up, and I'm going to target this right here. You know, even though it's not really at the midpoint of the fair value gap, I'm just going to target this. I'm just going to, you know, continue the trade, and I'm going to take half the position right here. So alright, as you can see, I'm going to take half the position right here. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to take partial. I'm going to do my stop loss to break even. And as you can see, price just shot all the way up and hit my TP, right? So, you know, just to recap of what we done. So all I did was, you know, obviously, as you can see, you know, price is obviously it's reacting, liquidity inflection, it's bouncing off it, and then boom, crosses it, does an overside retest, and just shoots up, right? You know, there's lots of demand right here. You know, I could obviously made more money if I targeted this, but I think this is fine too, right? Like around here is good too. And you know, if we look at my previous trade, so yeah, obviously you can see that right here, liquidity inflection, did an underside retest, so I targeted the midpoint kind of this you know, of this supply. So I targeted this, and then it went all the way down, right? Because again, we can see that there's lots of bearish liquidity right here, so it kind of reacted off that, and I made sure that based on this bigger time frame, I can see that it's bearish, right? Even that my all of these time frames show bearish. So what I do is, you know, I go bearish because of my liquidity inflection levels and because of the overall trend of the you know, the larger time frame, right? So hey guys, that's basically how I trade. Basically, you know, obviously I lose trades. It's not like win every trade every single time, but you know, you need to be consistent. You need to follow your strategy. You gotta stop just taking trades out of nowhere and just stick to your strategy, right? That's the main thing you need to do, and you're gonna succeed in trading. So, but that's it from me, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you wanna, you know, get my indicators, or you wanna see how I use if you want to see how I got these indicators, you can go to my Discord server. It's in the link in the description below. You can add them to your chart, and I'll add anything more if you guys need. Say something in general chat, or say you can DM me. I can add more indicators to my Discord server so you guys can use it for free. So I'm not trying to charge you guys anything. You guys can use it all. And yeah, but I'll see you guys in the next video, and yeah, peace.